nailed that yesterday. It was my #1 trade yesterday. I said it was the #1 P&L trade of the month on Trader TV Live. Both ways. We had it long and short on the TQs. So that was a good trade for us. We had this short here into the market. So if there's no ideas today that pop off right away, I'll be looking in and around that. But I feel like AMD will be something. I don't have any pending orders right now. We will try to take it a little slow off the open because although I'm thinking it's comeback season for AMD, it may not be. And I don't want to get burned early like we did yesterday on Tesla. Shout out to Bala there in the chat. And I respect what you're saying. And that's real trader mentality. You know, so congratulations to everybody that has that tiger blood in them. Okay, here we go, guys. It's not everybody, man. This business is not for everybody. You can probably see that every day. 3, 2, and 1. Let's go. All right, 161. Let's now see what happens with AMD. Psych, I'm in right now. No, I'm not. We're going to wait to see what move comes through with AMD. A nice push down in the market, down to 18,750. Remember, we're waiting for market on open imbalances to have effect. Palantir, we didn't get to this one. This has been bad for the last little while, trending to the downside, waiting for $20 to hit on that. NVIDIA bouncing down a little bit off 1050, I guess, there in the pre-market, trying to find base out now at 1040. Let's zoom out just a little bit to watch these charts as we get to go. Lily got that press release correct.
Yeah, absolutely. So, look, I mean, not a heck of a lot at the open happening right here. I just looked at DraftKings. That's going to the upside. It was a late one that I mentioned, that $40 level on DKNG. You're seeing it absolutely ramp. So the dip buy on DraftKings seems almost entirely unlikely. GitLab was another. We're looking for a fade. 24,000 shares worth of volume at the open, so we really need that one to calm down a little bit. NVIDIA nowhere near those key prices that we talked about in the 20s as well. And ARM, which is for me, going to be a short the pops in ARM. Wow, my chart's a little slow today. ARM just went down $1.50. So it was not my plan of action to chase this. I was looking to short it off of resistance, first the 14 and then the 17. So we're going to have to be a little bit patient here off of the open. Adara?
Keeping out for PDD here. Pinduoduo bouncing right off the open, up 4.5%. They did have earnings a few days ago, and Goldman Sachs now upgrading them to buy rating with a $184 price target. So great look for PDD to start the day, guys.
All right, AMD's coming into that 160 level. We still have our ear to the ground here about Ethereum or anything like that. We'll be looking at ETHE over there on the OTC market. Shout out to our good friend Jeff Mendel, who we'll be going golfing with next Friday. That should be fun. All right, Apple 186. Let's just have a quick check to see if that's coming in at all. Not even close. Apple, as though the market not really moving too much, and Apple kind of holding for right here at 188.50. Let's wait for that. I think this is going to be a long for sure at some point there today for me. Amazon 180. Ooh, it did go to 181 there. Okay. Dip down opportunity there on Amazon for sure into 181. So that could have been something. And it's too bad because yesterday I would be long already on AMD, probably down here, but today we're being a little more patient with it. So let's give that another chance right now. Why are people talking about NEO?
Neo? I was about to, there's a halt off right off of the bat here, and my halt page is taking a second. It's BTER, it's a better choice, is halted, but this is actually, it's an immediate volatility halt. So M code, there's no resumption time, so just assume 3 minutes here. To the upside, it's halted after breaking from $5 to $7. Don't know if there's any news on that stock. NVIDIA's starting to come down a little bit more, so you're starting to see it get down into that 1030 range. Check that, 1038 range. Nowhere near that 1025. As you mentioned, AMD, trying to load up here. Let's go. Down around that 160. So it's getting close to yesterday's bottoms, just not quite there. Yeah, trying to be patient. Again, I feel like not being patient was a mistake yesterday. NEO's doing nothing, I just checked. It's flat. I mean, it just went up like 10 cents, I guess. It's not that big of a move.
Okay. Oh, man, I'm getting excited a little bit about Apple. I mean, I'm thinking about if we take some, I mean, AMD is a great call off that 160. We just don't have it today. We're trying to be a little bit different and be a little more cautious with what we're trying to do. We talked a little bit about that there yesterday. So 189.25, that high yesterday was, that's 192, sorry, I'm looking right here, 189.50. So the 50 period moving average is 189.25. So I think we'll try a break long through there if we're able to we're able to get that. So let's give that a shout and see if we can hit it. Apple 189.25, a play I'm looking at right now. So I'm going to put that in and see if we can get a break there as the Nasdaq's trying to get a little bit longer here.
Yeah, it's starting to look really strong. I mean, Tesla I like for a dip buy. Tesla's just stair-stepping into the upside, but nothing too crazy yet. It's still barely above 175. I don't want to be chasing that move. I see what's happening, and some people have been mentioning the meme stocks. So GameStop moving a little bit, AMC with like a slight break to the upside, but that's not enough to get you excited just yet. I still think you need more than that. This thing needs to break like $5. Snow's making a power move to the upside. Oh. Yeah, but the other thing is Li Auto's held on to that $20 level. So I only think this is a short underneath 20. It was right at 20. Look at that, 5% up. Sharif's probably going to be happy about that. But Snowflake making move. None of the stocks I want are at the levels, and at least I'm trying to be patient with it. No, Snowflake.
Oh, what? He's in Snowflake now?
No, he actually. We were talking with him about he's thinking about getting back into Li Auto.
Oh, okay.
So if he did, then he's up. If he didn't, then ignore what I'm saying. Snowflake just made a $2 move to the upside, so this rebound play is in. Remember, Snowflake did tick down 10%. I believe. No, it didn't. No, it's not SSR because it wasn't the close price. So it might not be SSR, but it's a good recovery bounce. Call it a dead cat bounce here on Snowflake. Watch out for Palantir as well, because a lot of times that'll go on sympathy. Yep. All right, here comes a bit of a dip in DraftKings. If I'm going to get involved, might be finally getting an opportunity here.
All are at the dips. Okay, right now, yeah, we did not get that break on Apple, although it did come pretty close, which is just sort of makes it fine for me because I am down for trying to grab anything here on Apple. A pullback into VWAP could also be something right now. It's 9:36, so I'm getting a little antsy here. That made me thinking about trying to make a trade at some point. But for right now, we're just chilling. 189 and change. I'm still trying to watch AMD 161.50 right there. Micron 127. Quickly ETHE. Let's have a quick look over there. We've kind of left it alone a little bit. Haven't seen anything. It's 3,700. You can see this is what it's looking like right now. Still like the stock. Lots of liquidity. Easier to get in and out of now because there's so much news around it. So watch out for Ethereum trying to make some moves. Is Uber moving a little bit here on a note?
Look at Li Auto.
He wants to know if you bought Li Auto. Did not. Okay. So nice move up for Uber right now. Straight upside for Uber, starting to go 63.50, 64.50. Pull up for Uber right now. Could be a decent short up there. Let's see what it does. Still waiting for Apple, which is now pulling back. The market's trying to pull back as well. Potentially this is NVIDIA because AMD just moved down.
NVIDIA is going lower.
Yeah, okay, it's trying to go lower. All right, maybe it is time to buy Apple then at this level, bouncing off that 50 period. But here we come into the futures right now. What's up, Adara?
You have ONMD, ONMD, this one moving to the upside again. This is a small cap runner. Right now approaching the $2 level, up about 32%. Still trading on yesterday's catalyst. The company highlighting its five-fold expansion of its network and platform, guys.
Yeah, strong move there. I believe Better is open after its halt. I'm just, I got my locates on ARM. It looks like it's a stair step down, which means, okay, evaluate the trade for you're not going to get the 114 off the open. It broke to the lows. Yesterday's close was at 112.5. Pre-market lows were around there as well. So I want to short the pop back into that level. DraftKings, oh, you're going to get away from me here. I was just looking for that dip in DraftKings. So 41, I wanted 40. You see it break higher, dip back into the 41 is going to have to be the play. There was that news yesterday regarding taxation on betting, which was positive for them in a single state. But it was still good news, and it made a nice bounce on the daily chart. Triple bottom on the daily chart for DraftKings. That's the other reason we like it.
All right, I'm going to get a little bit with it here on Apple. We'll try to buy some of these dips. Oops, that's Elf Cosmetics. Oh yeah, by the way, wife always wins. Like she messaged yesterday on the chat in the show to buy Elf Cosmetics to me. And that was at I was just looking at it, that was 160.
180? 180.
195. Yeah. So shout out right there to Marissa. You're in the money 20%. Damn, girl. Hope you took that. All right, so 188. Look, it's like a lot of traders, right? Like you can call shots, but if you don't have them in your account, and who cares? I don't have it, but shout out to Marissa for that one. Damn, I said that was going to be my trading strategy too, right? Buy
More of
whatever.
an investing strategy, I thought you said.
Yeah, investing. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know if I might have been able to get it out now. Yeah, no, but I'll trade out of that. Like we traded out of Starbucks. Okay, right here.
NVIDIA's come.
Yeah, here comes Apple. Let's go. Let's spin it. We'll go 1 for 1, as we said, if we can hold on to this 188. But you just mentioned NVIDIA because AMD's also coming down. So these trades may not last that long if the semis come back in. But right now, we're just in the money, 20 cents or so on Apple. Let's see where we go.
Wow, Tesla is really starting to go. It's up 1% now, so it's just still stair-step. I did get DraftKings out in front of 41, just got 41.11. I think a lot of people are looking at that move down in NVIDIA. No break of 10.30. I like 25 to 20, and it doesn't quite get there. When it's falling, the mistake yesterday on AMD was getting in too early and not allowing it to trend down into the level that we like, so I don't want to make that same mistake. Yes, I see AMC is moving, but it's right back into those lows. So AMC right back in. If it can make a higher low and start trending a little bit better to the upside, I might get involved in that. It feels like they're a little bit asleep, in my estimation. Rivian is not necessarily, here we go. It's following Tesla in that it's holding the bombs. Come on, chart. And the $10 level has held, at least for now. So as long as Tesla's going up, 10's been a good level for Rivian. Long 4 days in a row if you took it in the morning. So if we get back down there, maybe like a 10.01, 10.02 is going to come into play. I am in DraftKings. The position board not updating.
Yeah, I'm in Apple. Hey,
Can we restart the position board, guys? Yeah.
Oh, they just did.
Awesome.
Okay, I'll be out of Apple's. Okay, good, thanks. I'll be out of Apple, not out of Apple, I have some offers up here. We just bounced off the 50-period moving average, so now I'm waiting at 35. I was actually at 39, where it was before, but now it's at 35. So the only position I have right here is long Apple, 188.12. Adara.
An eye on Maris NV here, MRUS. This one does have a $2.5 billion market cap, so on the smaller side. Short float of just over 5%. Trading higher, up about 25% right now after announcing that they're going to be publishing this abstract for this cancer treatment ahead of the annual Society of Cancer Oncology meeting, guys.
Okay.
Better is about to go into a down halt now, so what goes up? Yeah, that is now correct. Thank you very much, Ramin. Better is now halting down after 1 to the upside, 594. It's right back in here, so it's absolutely, well, I don't want to call it pandemonium, but just be careful trading this. It might do multiple halts. I think when they calm down, they're a little bit better off the open. So dip bought on DraftKings over the afternoon top and that $41 level. If it fails underneath here, I want to give this one about 40.80 or so on DKNG. So just going to let this one start to calm down a little bit as the market's still very much inside the range. You haven't had too big movement. I mean, if anything, NVIDIA, that dip to 1030 was maybe the most extreme thing I've seen happen on a large cap name. Still haven't gotten short in ARM. We're trying to be patient, getting it off the top. And then watch out again. I know the meetings are trying to go. If they can bounce and maybe break out those highs, I might get over to them. But for now, sticking with DraftKings, waiting on ARM short.
Okay. I mean, we were just trying to be patient with it. It went down to 160. I saw everybody in the chat. AMD's at 160, Sean. That's your level. Yeah, it went to 160. It's now up $3. I mean, what are we supposed to do other than take that trade, and we didn't do it? But you know what? I don't know. We're in Apple, and it's starting to go upside. This was, I mean, I'll take this. I'll take this. Like I said, I mean, I'll take AMD over this. This is 30 cents. But still, you know, at least we're in this trade. It's a winner. Let's just see what we can get. I mean, I want to get these big winners on board, and we should have taken that AMD. I mean, we looked at it, we talked about it. We called the comeback season for AMD. There it is. It's ripping. I mean, we nailed it. We nailed the rhetoric. We nailed the call. Everything like that. We just don't have it on. And I said that, so it doesn't matter. If you don't have the trade on, you don't have it on, right? And so we looked at it down there at 160. I just hope a lot of you are part of, and I know a lot of you are part of Sticky Note Nation, and hopefully took that trade. So down there at 160, there it was, given to you. Hopefully you're in it. I was nervous about it just because I thought it was too early in the day. But there's AMD, and again, trust thyself, and we should do that, and that's okay. Yeah, no, absolutely no FOMO, because like I said, we're still here and we are completely fine. And we had basically all the best trades yesterday were, for me, are basically in the afternoon anyway. So I know it's all good. I'm going to still be here. That's just $3, and all it does is just, it's a pat on the back. You know, you called that level. I mean, we're the ones putting out the levels and sticking our neck out and taking the trades that we put on here. So we should have continued to do that, but today we'll just wait out and we'll hold Apple. I mean, this is a fine trade. For me, we'll see where we can go on AAPL from here. And then we'll look at PLTR as well. I mean, there's numbers coming, there's Fed speak, lots of possible actionable events here coming in the day. So we'll watch AMD, maybe it falls back in, and we'll see if we want to take it again. I appreciate you, 1320 Wolf.
I just heard something about Taiwan there. So if you're trading TSM, anything, some chips and the Balkan regions there. But anyways, I'd watch out for TSM there. I'm gonna get that headline if I can hear it better the next time. TSM is a little bit relatively quiet this morning. I just got into ARM. We said we had to be patient with this one. Just want to start working in off of VWAP and yesterday's close. It doesn't really give you the short off the top, but it is putting in some lower highs as we speak. The other name that we were just about to get over to was, oh my goodness, NVIDIA's gonzo. You gotta be kidding me. So NVIDIA, it doesn't quite get to 1025, but now you're clearly starting to run and break out the top potentially. If we don't get the absolute dip buy, you might just have to look for a trend trade, which would be breaks out the highs, pulls back in. I always like VWAP in a situation like that, if that's going to be the case. Coinbase is going semi-nuts, but I don't think it's out of the pocket just yet. It couldn't break through 228 yesterday. I think if it can break that, I have 240 as the next resistance on Coinbase. DraftKings still kind of holding that 41 level, offering out in 41.20 as well. So we're still in the same two names, looking for an entry point in Meta or Tesla. But Tesla, we like the dip. There was no dip. It just only ripped to the upside on Tesla.
All right, okay. I mean, there it is. Another win there on Apple. Like I said, you know, would rather be 1-1 than dancing with some of these other names that I'm not putting up numbers on. So we should have been on AMD, not AMD.de, of course, AMD.NQ right there. Up to 163. Congratulations to absolutely everybody out there that trusted comeback season, man. This is not Johnny Manziel comeback season. This is real right here. 160, nice upside move there off AMD. We called it, we don't have it. I hope you guys do. Congrats on that play. I'm not in love with this Apple trade. We're getting some out on the upside. I don't know why this isn't moving. I mean, I liked 189.25 to rip, and that's completely different than what's happening right now. Apparently AMC is starting to go off now as well. But honestly, man, we'll just sit here and try to count some money today. I mean, here we go. We're 2 for 2. First in on Apple, second in on Apple, reloading these trades. It's been a good day so far. I hope you guys are grinding it out with me.
Yeah, that better is reopened, obviously. AMC just broke the highs. I'm only joining AMC if it shows me the pattern like one more time in. We just got the first leg in the arm. What I like about it is we just had a turn in NVIDIA at 1050. So here's what just happened in NVIDIA. It just made a turn at 1050. If we're gonna get back underneath VWAP, then I wanna add on the way back to the downside on ARM. We're in DraftKings. I'm just gonna give it to you here. It's a long off of VWAP here at 41.10 and zooming back out, giving it to 41.80. This was the top in yesterday's move. So we're gonna have 1 in, 1 out on this stock. The level I really like is the $40 level. So we're just gonna take shots on this one at that particular price. Still nothing coming in for me on Tesla. I like the long on Tesla, but it's not pulling into VWAP. It's not at any key levels. So we'll have to join that some other way. I have resistance at 178, so there's plenty of room to that top. We liked it for the long, but I was never buying it at the open. I wanted to buy the dip. Let's go to Adara.
First Solar FSLR continuing this upward momentum that we've had over the last couple of days, breaking new highs right now, up over 6%. There was a bit of a story with Solar. Basically, Google, this came out yesterday evening, Google signing this Japan solar farm deals in order to power data centers, being reported here by Nikkei Asia. But overall, FSLR outsized strength. It does have a short float as well, 4.3%, guys.
All right, thank you, Miss Adara. It's 9:48. Let me know if there's anything you guys want to talk about in the chat here. We're just trying to wait for Apple, and I'm honestly not want to wait for that long. I mean, I think we are bidding down here at 188. It doesn't look like it's going to be the stock that I'd hoped for today. As AMD, a little bit of a pullback back in. Let's check out NVIDIA quickly. I just want to look at Meta as well. We talked about the fade short in Meta. We don't have it, but I want to look there. 141 now for NVIDIA. Made a nice move off that. It basically got to our level, and again, and here I am not looking at it. That's that same AMD trade. We talked about going short on Meta today, and yeah, that would have been good. Meta now taking out the day's low. Like, man, we've been nailing things, man, and it's been a really good feeling to be able to do this. So here comes Apple back up. We're offering 39s. It's that same 39 as before. Let's see if we can get it. Apple, basically your trade of the day. I mean, we're 1 for 1 here today on Apple, and I'm completely cool with that. So far so good here. Nothing really else setting up. We did get the setup, of course, and didn't do anything about it with AMD. But right there, Apple again, we just reloaded this at 20s and I can't even get 40s. So let's see if it wants to go one more time. I'm excited for this, but at the same time, we don't need to do anything. We're still fine.
The market's not really flying around yet.
No, but I mean, like I said, it's better to be in a position right now that you're kind of just like waiting for something to happen than spend too much capital looking for others. But I still have the scanner going here looking for more shares or more trades. AMC 470.
Apparently Boeing's dumping again.
Yeah, Boeing is.
So by the way, look, I just got to fill on ARM finally. Like ARM came back in when Nvidia dumped a little bit. I added through VWAP and it just got to 112. But this is like ARM's not usually putting in a 50-cent range in the first 20 minutes. But that's what it's doing because that's what the market's telling you. GitLab, I looked over and it is weak, but it's also much less. It was way better liquidity yesterday trading this after the news. I pulled it in. I'm like, yeah, I don't see how you're even getting into a short. I'm not punching the bottom when there's not a lot of liquidity. So yes, GitLab is going to the downside, but it needs to calm itself down a little bit because that's getting a little bit, it's getting nasty, but it's not something that I would participate in without better liquidity there. GameStop, load. There we go. GameStop's now heading lower. This is another caution point to anybody that's getting exuberant about AMC. You're not really breaking back out. You're still in the consolidation and pullback phase. But 18 was a pretty key level yesterday. If GME does any kind of a false breakdown underneath 18, nice little rebound trade could be there, maybe back into VWAP, but it is tanking in some sense. So I'm not going to be getting involved in AMC longs unless this thing does some kind of a little bit of a level off. I think they tend to go, not always follow each other, but I don't like going long one when the other's tanking. DraftKings, I mean, I have this, I'm giving it to 80. It's still right in the pocket, nothing too crazy happening there. And then Tesla starting to pull back into VWAP. I like it better off of the support levels. But again, very, very calm and moving trade. Like you're not getting those crazy wicks. I feel as if yesterday got us into a mode of be really, really patient because things are flying around like AMD was. And then you're too patient because of the lessons learned yesterday, which is fine at the end of the day. Like you can't be mad because yesterday, being impatient is the only reason to be down early. So I kind of feel like it was the right lesson learned. That said, it can be a little bit frustrating. So I'm going to get back into ARM if we get an opportunity for a reload off this like 112.5 level, and things still look relatively weak in some of the other chips.
Yeah, we are, we are completely cool. I mean, this is exactly what we're doing. We have this Apple trade. We've reloaded it. We're waiting to see if it wants to go to the upside right now. So that's what we're waiting for. I was just looking at another trade possibility, so let's start to open that up. So let's wake up everybody that's out there right now. Look, we called Uber at the top, and then it just faded back into the 200 period, and we missed that one as well. So Uber just now triggering on my scanner, and we should have bought that dip. So I'm sitting there now in case we do get a little bit of a dip buy opportunity to come through there on Uber. I like the long down in there. So let's take a look at that in a second if we can. All right, 174 breaking down maybe on Google. So just having a look here. Again, the market's trying to get lower now. I mean, Google on a chart, it's been weak, obviously, the last 2 days, I guess. I mean, other than that, it was pretty strong before then. There's the push, and then there's yesterday, and now we're trying to get back low again. I wonder if, again, if the market comes back, does Google get into that 173? This is probably a decent short opportunity now, breaking down through 174, maybe using that as a top there, 174.40s, something like that. But it looks like we are breaking back down now in the market. So let's be careful. We're out of more than half of our Apple, but not much more. So we're still waiting for that one. Tesla could be a good dip buy. I see some people talking about that.
Nvidia's coming down again.
Nvidia's coming down. Okay, so we'll watch out for AMD. Here's Google, 174.20. Could be something there.
Yeah, look, Nvidia is starting to come into the downside. I didn't actually get the reload on ARM. You're gonna see it was right in here. This wick will make it hard to tell, but it's a big wick right into VWAP. So there was a bit of a pop, but there was no bid up here. Like it just kind of got there, and then Nvidia rolled over, and you're right back at the bottom. So there was no ad for me. Gonna look for a place to get some out of DraftKings just to relieve some pressure. Here it's not at the highs yet, but with the market starting to roll in, I'm just gonna take some off for 10 cents. But the market is starting to get down into those lows, which makes sense to trim. Like this has not been flying around the way I expected it to. And Tesla might have been a dip buy, but only about 40, 50 cents. So right now we're 50 cents in the money on ARM as that one heads to the downside along with Nvidia and some of the other chip names. So far so good, but it's, we're gonna be 2 for 2 at this point, but I don't have any Tesla and it's not really moving how I expected.
Hey, it's me, we're the anti-hero. It's Apple going to the upside rate here again. 188.55, 188.56. Yesterday, I'm driving around High Park blasting Taylor Swift, and everyone's like, man, what's going on with this guy? How come he has such good taste in music? And I just look over and it's like, it's my daughter. Like, you know what I'm saying? Right there, right now. So here we go, guys. It's Google. And by the way, hello. Nice move back to the downside on Google. We just called this one. It's funny that this one started going down. Meanwhile, Apple started to go to the upside. So let's wait to see what exactly is the story here with Google. We'll take a little piece off. It just went into the 80s. We're bidding there now again, but there goes Apple, man. Nice move into 60s. Let's offer out a little piece right here. Traders stay late. Traders trade like this. And here we go. It's Apple. It's Google. It's 2 for 2. And they're doozies right now. So hopefully we can continue with some of the good love on these names. Let's go, Google. Again, we said, wake up. We got a trade idea. And it's Google right now coming into play again here. So let's wait to see what winds up happening. We're short Google and we're long Apple. I mean, this is working out absolutely perfect. Again, you're gonna trade like this is what you gotta do. Have that patience, man. And here it goes. We're doing it again. Man, we are just leveling up here, and I feel real good about it. So again, hopefully you're all watching and being able to trade and understand what some of the positions that we have on and why we have them on. So we just got a couple fills down there in and around 80, just the pre-market low. The market did make a dump. Wow, Apple, come on, let's go. Patience again, pretty key right now. So we're good. Yes, I am a Swiftie. I'm also, whatever you call Olivia Rodrigo. Whatever my daughter is into, I am into.
Yeah, I tend to agree. Olivia Rodrigo, for a lot of the younger girls, she loves her songs more. She doesn't actually know who she is if she had to spot them, but it's like, she loves the Olivia Rodrigo songs. You're still tanking. You're still moving down on GameStop, so there was no hold of 18. I said if it broke 18 and came back above, I might have looked for a cheeky little long on the way back into VWAP. It's still heading to the downside, so I'm glad we did not get into that. I'm glad we didn't just immediately jump into any trend on AMC when GameStop went down, because you're seeing AMC pull right back in along with it. ARM still holding out. Haven't been able to get a reload just yet, but with the market heading down, we'll hold it into yesterday's bottoms. DraftKings, I think a good decision to take some out. I'll dip back into previous support on DraftKings. I just like this where it's set up on the daily chart overall. I want to be looking for longs on this stock, every single kind of setup that it's going to have. Great $40 level. For now, it's trying to hold the 41. Tesla's starting to come back in along with this market. Let it get down into those lows. I did prefer down closer to the 173 level. You're still at 175, so we're going to try and be patient with Tesla in here. Rivian is at 10. I do see it, but I'd like to see it bounce first. Really catching the falling knife. do not want to be doing that today. If I get dip buys, I want to get it where it's shown me a bit of a bounce, and then on the way back up, try to catch it instead of just standing in front of a level blindly.
All right, it's almost 9:59. So let me just double check here on what exactly we have going on with our economic releases here today. All right, so here it is. We just check it. Well, I posted this as well. It's on our watch list. Michigan sentiment coming out right now at 10 o'clock. So those are going to be some numbers definitely to watch out for. We are well positioned right now. We're Apple 50 cents in the money. We just covered some more. Look at that cover right down there on our friend Google. So far, so good here today. Let's go over to Adara. Why don't we go to Adara now? We have numbers in less than 20 seconds. So as soon as she's ready, Ramin, flip it over and let's go over to happening now.
Waiting on these numbers here, the Michigan Consumer Sentiment final for May coming in 77.2 was the previous final print, but as we know that early print we got was a bit lower than expected, so this will be, we'll have to wait and see what we get. Consensus 76.5 forecast, 67.5 forecast 67.4. Michigan 5-year inflation expectations final here as well, consensus and forecast of 3.1%. Just waiting for these numbers to hit here. We're also waiting for Michigan current conditions final, Michigan consumer expectations, and the inflation expectations. Let me see if these are anywhere else. SPY getting a nice move to the upside on these numbers. Perfect, we do have them in. So Michigan consumer sentiment 69.1, slightly above the estimate of 67.7 and 67.4. We did have that Michigan 5-year inflation final coming in 3% versus 3.1% expected. So we also have 1-year inflation 3.3% versus 3.4% expected. Michigan expectations final 68.8 versus 67 expected, and conditions final 69.6 versus 60.8 expected here. So a lot of these numbers coming in better than expected in terms of how the market was looking for them. Some other names moving today include Boeing getting a pop here, but a little bit weaker on the day. They did release their third annual safety report. Bloomberg also reporting that they're working with the union and the FAA to review these employee safety reports. We also have PDD here up 7%, continuing a nice streak after its earnings, getting an upgrade and a 184 price target from Goldman Sachs. Lots to look at on this Friday before the holiday long weekend, guys.
And what a great update right there. We'll come back with this. Awesome, and then this. We sat here all day and we said, look, we're going to sit in this Apple trade. We like this Apple trade. Let's be patient. Let's be who we are. Let's put on shares. Let's wait for it. Apple right there. Blast off right up there to the upside. So, I mean, there it was, man. Good out. We're almost out of Apple now. That went right to 189. We have 10% left right there. So yes, sir. That was that call. Bang out on that one again. And then AMD 160. Are you kidding me as well? And then look at this average in on Google. Right now we're in the money on this trade. Back to the short side. Stink face, man. This is the kind of market that we're having, and we are feeling everything again here right now. What a different style of trade for me today. Find the best opportunities that I could find, sit in them, and bang them out. We'll take it. We'll take it all day right now. It's Google and it's Apple, and those were monsters.
Yeah, that's what I love to see. It's like it's way more patient today. I think that's what it has to be. I just took some out high of day on DraftKings because respect the fact that it's now double top. Might look at VWAP in here. So I still want to bid underneath that 41 and try and catch it in front of 4080. But if it starts bouncing off VWAP, we'll take that road as well. ARM came back into the upside. We let it get to the 13 because we had the number come out. So if I'm going to be against the grain, the difference here with the first time is remember NVIDIA wicked and went down, and ARM followed along. NVIDIA wicks and goes down again, and ARM is carrying higher. So if it breaks out this local top, I don't want to fight it. So that's the reason I'm not going to give it to that high. It was following the pattern before, now it's not following the pattern. So again, ARM has been good almost every single day, but this is not how it usually trades. So I'm going to get out of ARM. We'll take the L, and I might get back in if we can get up to like the next key level. Maybe it'll fail a 114. If it breaks through there, I'm not touching touching it unless it gets up to 117. So you got to trade these 1 station, 2 station. Of course, Tesla does not get down to where we want it. I said patience can be good, but patience can also cost you opportunities. I wanted the lows. It went down to 75. Wasn't looking at 175. You guys heard me say I wanted off of the bottoms. And Tesla continued to go up. It is strong. We did like the long, but we're not going to get it. Is what it is. Meta as well. Meta was a dip buy and a long for me off that 462 level. You're going to see just all to the upside on Meta. So you're going to have direction, but you also have to find an entry into the trade. Thankfully, we're able to get something into this DraftKings. And then last one, GitLab. It's been 30 minutes, and I wanted this one to start to calm down a bit, so now a little more comfortable with it. It's still underneath yesterday's lows. I want to be sitting short in GitLab based on that hack, or hack, or whatever you want to call it. The accounts got compromised, I guess is what you're supposed to say, which is a hack. And it's still underneath that support level, so now I want to get into this one. You got to give it some room, but very, very light volume, so I'll probably start with small shares. If the market rolls over, I don't see any way this should be a good stock today when you have a security breach.
Look, this is a proud moment for me, but it should also be a prouder one for guys like Wayne back there and guys on the floor. Look, I said today I'm noticing this is probably one of the best days the floor's had, and they've changed their style of trade. And I just want to say a lot of respect to everybody that's there on the floor now trading stocks that are obviously moving and with news, and definitely a change of style there. And I think that this floor behind us is definitely on the right track. So a big shout out to Wayne and Brankles for flipping up what you guys do. Mad respect to that one. I'm definitely seeing the difference. So there's the props there. So again, glad to be able to spend time with these guys on the floor, and I hope that they're able to see the difference in what's going on there. So a big shout out to Wayne and Brankles, and more importantly, the traders behind us, that now I'm seeing all the names I see on the floor are all names that will hopefully lead them to the promised land. So congratulations on flipping it up and being able to do that. So, and again, that's just from, hey, real sees real. And now you guys are really trading, so that's good. All right, look at this. Google right now, boom, there it goes. Let's go. Spin that money through, man. It's 170. What's up with that short? We have 2 trades today. Apple goes dollar club. Google now 60 cents on reloads. So there's Google all the way to the downside. And look where we just got out, days low. Right? This is exactly the stuff that I'm talking about again. Trust your stock. Trust the way you're trading. And look, man, these are the opportunities. These are the opportunities. We'll go 2 for 2 here. We don't need to tell you how big they are. It doesn't matter. You can see we only have 2 trades here today. Yesterday, we fell on that sword with Tesla. We battled back all day to get green again. And today, we'll sit here at 10:06 and show you this trade that we were pounding. This is the other thing. I'm like sitting here saying, this is the trade I have. This is the trade that I like. Thank you to CompuCare as well. You mentioned that, the sticky note and the confidence that we had mentioned with AMD earlier on in the day was the reason why you have this banger still on. But you have the trade on, not me. So again, regardless whether or not that was a help from sticky note, whether or not that was your own banger, whether or not you alerted that down there, everyone in the chat was like, dude, it's there on AMD. I was like, hey, it's me, but I am not taking that trade. And instead, we hit it with Apple. Apple will be there. We'll hit it with Google. Google's there. So we'll go 2 for 2. And me and Neil talked about this yesterday. There's literally thousands of opportunities every single day in the market. You just have to do you and find you. But today, it's much more of a proud moment to be able to see the office doing really well, and we know what's going on, and just really good again. And of course, last night I'm lying there with my son as he's going to bed, and he's like, "Dad, did you buy any more Roblox lately?" And I was like, "No."
That's the first thing. Yeah.
No. And I'm teaching my kids financial literacy. I already told you that from the jump. My kids have already sat in this chair and traded. Right? So we talk about this all the time because, as I told you, from where I come from and everything like that, this is what I'm going to be doing. But look at this, Roblox today, of course, I'm going to show him tonight that it's up 0.94. He's like, Dad, they're doing some upgrades. All right, so let's go. It's now time to rock and roll. Back over the desk with Darren. I'm going to go get a coffee. You need one?
Actually, yeah, I was going to ask Randy, but...
Yeah, let's ask Randy.
Yeah, you don't have to get up. I was about to message that I need a refill on my coffee. Let's go over to Adara. Also, It hasn't shown up just yet, but a wick top there on ARM off the high. So I'll re-enter the trade. You've got some weakness starting to come back into it, but let's get over to the desk with Dara.
Not a ton of volume on this one, but currently gaining volume. CROX. Crocs wanted to bring this one up because we mentioned this one earlier, and it's currently up about 5% right now. No news, but 7.8% short float. It's a nice look for CROX. Just getting another nice volume spike here as we speak, guys.
That'd be Crocs. Shout out to Michael Noss, the Noss boss, coming in there and mentioning that he liked Crocs. I think it was more specific to like a setup that could happen. So I don't want to sit here and tell you guys that he's in
I don't know. I don't know if he said he was in.
No, a lot of the times it'll be like, okay, this stock is setting up for this, and this is the trend. It's not necessarily that you're getting in. Like I was talking to Shreve about Liato. He's not in the stock. He just mentioned that there was a bottom it was making, and he might get in. I saw it was up. I got excited. I'm like, hey, good for you. But he didn't actually buy. But I am in Rivian off the $10 level. Oh, well, maybe he'll get into it. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. You know,
So I'm into Rivian off 10. It worked yesterday, bouncing off 10 into VWAP. If it doesn't today, I picked some up out in front of 5, bit of a bid at 5 on the way after it had bounced. So now I'm gonna look. If it holds 10 exactly here, I might add 1s and 2s, but on the way down, not gonna do that. If we break down underneath 10, then we just dump out of that trade. PDD's holding up so well. Like I'm looking back over at Alibaba, and remember that level at Alibaba that I said was the overnight prices? That's not a real brick wall. It turned there anyways at $80.80, and it stair step up. One of the favorite trades I've had lately on Alibaba is when it fails a break of the bottom, puts in a higher low off VWAP, and then takes out the top. So that's actually setting up right now. There's your false bottom, there's holding VWAP, and then taking out the top would actually just end up randomly being an $81 even break. So that's a breakout setup I like. Of course, I'm not getting in unless it actually gets there, and it's heading down right now. So I just want to let you know, if we break 81s in Alibaba, I'm going to go long, but as I say that, now it's going down. See, I just jinxed it. I feel like every time I go to look for a breakout trade, I tell you guys, hey, I'm going to take this breakout, and then the stock just never gets there. What's going on? Position war might be wrong again, guys. I'm back into ARM on the short side.
Oh, boy. Okay. Well, yeah, we'll work on that. Hopefully we'll be able to get that all fixed up. Okay, so we did just average in right now at 40 here on Google, but I mean, we're short at 30s right now. I'm going to take a little bit more here if we can get it. We just got some 58s there, whatever it was, 50, no, I think it was less than that, 56.
There we go.
Right there, yeah, so I just took a position, so hopefully, all right, so mine should be right, but we're coming up to VWAP right now, and again, we thought Google was weak, and remember what we said about having the ability to switch up your game. We did that yesterday with the futures, so we're not doing this now. It's 10:15, and that, day wreckers can happen very, very quickly in the stock market. So let's not change our tune too much and still, okay, here we go. I mean, we're short and we're in the money now on it, but at the same time, it is coming back just a little bit. Apple's trying to get to that dollar again. We're 70 cents in the money on Apple. We only have 10% left. It's Google that's got my eye right now. And over at the desk with another update, let's go with Adara.
Nice volume increase and getting near high of days right now for DELL. Dell Technologies went up 5%. No news on this one today, but we did have that strength yesterday in tandem with NVIDIA on AI strength. We also did have its collaboration with Ericsson announced yesterday, and Dell is going to be reporting coming up on Thursday after close, guys.
Oh, Tesla. It's not fair, Tesla. Dell's a monster. Definitely a monster. Tesla's now gonzo. Though I did say sometimes you got to be patient, right? So we let this bounce off of. Oh, I just got GitLab. We just let Rivian bounce off the $10 level and then catch it on the way up, which does mean we sacrifice the chance of getting 2s and 3s. That said, we get it going to the upside instead of catching the falling knife. If Tesla's gonna get some orders out in front of the 10s and then the high of the day's quarters. So I want to make sure I have take profits on Rivian into that. GitLab, again, they had the security breach yesterday. So it's very, very light volume. I said be very patient. Like I'm not gonna it's not doing a heck of a lot of volume. So I want to start small here and only add if it starts going into the downside. The market's strong enough as well that it could get lifted with everything else. Tesla is an absolute rocket ship at this point. It's like carry Rivian with it, please. is the best way I can think about it, because I get VWAP's about the only way I'm getting in. We're not going to get a dip into the support levels that we like. There's just almost no chance that's happening. DraftKings, I just picked some back up when it bounced off VWAP again. We'll get some out if it gets back into the high of the day. So DraftKings up 1.5%. There was a positive news story yesterday in the afternoon, and it's just continuing trend back into the upside. Randy, my man, thank you very much. Tesla is flying today.
Thank you. Yeah, we talked about Tesla having that bottom base at 173, 174, and it is starting to fly to the upside right here for TSLA. And this is why we sort of wanted to stay away from it. Remember, we switched over this to a bull. So far, so good here on that call. Tesla's starting to go back upside, and normally this has been on the sticky note all week, and I said if we could base out around 173, 174, we liked it. But the problem is here today, wasn't looking at it right here. We should have. It was 174.50. I would have been upset with myself, Randy, if I took this and then it went down because I was waiting for 173. These wicks, yeah, there's VWAP right here at 176. See, this is what I'm talking about, Randy. There it is right there. See, it's a whole thing. Like now people, this is exactly it, right? Looking at new things now. VWAP, a big level there on Tesla. So we'll see if that one can call Randy on that. What's your plans for the weekend? Anything? Kart racing. That sounds like a hell of a lot of fun. Wow. Okay. Not on Saturday, I hope. Is it on Saturday? It might rain on Saturday.
Where are you going?
Yeah, it's no sport or whatever, but you're the one going, so you call it whatever you want.
He's good, so it's good stuff.
Good. That should be fun times, man. I hope you enjoy that. I hope the weather. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I hope the weather
think we're
is out for you.
Yeah, 100%. Because I think on tomorrow and Monday we're expecting rain, thunderstorms on Monday. So Intel's flying, and I don't know specifically why Intel's going up. I saw no news stories on this stock. I think it could just be a relief rally off $30. So if it's that. Here was the morning resistance, 3080. There's support at 3080. This is a long-winded way of saying this wick is going to get me short to the high of the day. So it's that simple. The high of the day is like 3082-ish, or maybe it's like 83. Either way, if it breaks out that, I'm jumping out of that trade. We just started getting out of Rivian, so that's a news trade is just getting into Intel. Again, I don't know why it's strong, but it bounced off 30. It got to the resistance spots that I didn't think was in play today, so I just jumped into the short. And now we're at VWAP on Rivian, so thank you, Tesla, for at least dragging this off the depths into VWAP. I'm starting to get more out once we cross the 10 level. Team PJCT, yeah, you're right. Meta's still ripping. It is what it is, man. I don't want to slap the fail on it because I feel as if being patient was the right thing to do, but it led me to not finding aggressive longs in Meta. It led me to not finding aggressive longs in Tesla today. So sometimes it's like that. There's a cost to being patient, or risk, it just means you might miss out on opportunities if you're not aggressive with it. So Tesla's going, Meta's going. I did like them both for longs. I have not gotten in. We'll have to look for VWAP in there. Rivian, again, like I said, starting to go into the upside. And then we haven't talked too much about crypto, but Coinbase looks like it might be trying to break a double top. I think Coinbase is really more bullish if it can take out this high, 228. And if that happens, it'd be better if Bitcoin was actually doing something itself, because you're not really getting a lot of movement in spot prices, especially after that ETH. I guess it's not really, you didn't approve anything. They just said you're allowed to put the applications in.
Of course, we say that like the one we want to buy is Meta. Like we want to get longer on Meta because we sold some, and we haven't been able to do that. I think that's the number one stock for me right now, looking to buy anything for Meta on any dips if we get it in the market.
I wanted Microsoft.
Yeah, Microsoft was an easy one to get as well, but damn it, you got to pounce when they're there.
Well, I had a bid like so close underneath where it dipped to, and like it's like you said, it gets down there. It's like it misses your bid by a few dollars. Just log in and go long.
Yeah, it doesn't
add. It's like it's so frustrating because I don't do that. I'm like, oh, it's gonna hit my price. It did not.
Just trying to call me.
We got SMCI apparently is making some moves, and if you look at Nvidia, yesterday, it was absolutely carrying the market. Today, you have such a lack of volatility in the stock, it's crazy. As a matter of fact, the reason I didn't move it to a bull is I kind of thought we'd have a bit of an inside day, and it ends up being true on the big leader, but overall, the market is trending into the upside. It's just everything but Nvidia is making that move because you're getting a fly up in AMD. I mean, Yeah, we're kind of in the middle, but I kind of liked it down closer to the bottom. It is what it is. But this is going to now at least retest, I think, that 168 level that was so key before. If it gets up there, maybe you get a bit of a curl. The only new position I put on was Intel off of that wick, and it's still right in there. So I don't want to stand in front of AMD because I feel like AMD should be stronger than Intel. But at the same time, if Intel just decides to make a fresh high, I'm getting the heck out. There's only so much I want to fight this. Both of these have made a good relief rally, so we'll risk about 6 or 7 cents on it and no more here.
All right, Google's coming back down. I appreciate you, Athena. Yeah, no, I don't feel like I'm being hard on myself at all. I just, I did miss that AMD trade, and we'll often have trades on here. But you know what? Honestly, the fact that Apple was our trade idea number 1, and this is the kind of, and we hashtag real trading. We talk about how they're our number 1 sponsor. I mean, this is trades that we could all have on. These are 188 buys. You could take day expiry options, anything like that. I was going long here, and now there it is, right? We're pushing the Dollar Club winner. So, I mean, sure, it's funny because, again, if you have 100 shares right now, let's just say, maybe you're trading light shares, you're doing whatever, or you have 1,000 shares, or you have 10 shares. But if you have 100 shares and you're long right here at 188.20, right now, even though I feel like I haven't really made that many trades, first of all, we have 2 trades here. That's a reload. At the end of the day, you're now $1, let's just say you're even 80 cents in the money, 90 cents in the money, something like that, like we are right now. That right there is $100 in your pocket, and you've been now, if you consider this work, working for 40 minutes. Real trading. I don't think that Google, this has been harder because although we'll be up on it and we're short and we just covered and yada yada, at the end of the day, this is a much harder trade for you guys to take. Much harder trade for you guys to take because you have to average in and there's a lot of different things happening here. But the Apple trade doesn't get much simpler than this. So thanks, Athena. There it is right now. It is a Dollar Club. And trust when I tell you, man, we don't even have 99 problems, but definitely Apple is not one. So let's go back over to the desk right now. What's up to Comp SRX1? What's up to everybody in the chat? I hope you guys are doing real well today. It's been another good one. Adara.
You have the Russell 2000 trying to push higher here. The IWM trying to make these higher lows. Right now up just under 1% on the day. Quite a few runners to talk about. A lot of these are going to be day 2 plays or names that we mentioned earlier. ONMD at one point up 100%, now up just below 100%, about 95% to the upside. This one running on the day 2 move after reporting greater than 5 times an expansion of its proprietary network and platform. So nice look there for OneMedNet. We also have MRUS, Maris. This one trading higher, up about 33% after announcing they published this abstract with regards to their cancer treatment ahead of this annual cancer-related meeting. So nice look there for MRUS. Last but not least, BTTR, better choice. This one on the Amex up about 35% to the upside. No specific news on this that I saw. We do have a short float of about 4.8%, a float of under 500,000 shares, and a market cap of around 3.5 million. So pretty small across the board for BTTR, guys.
Did we just get? No, we did not get more Google. So I was looking to get more Google up here potentially. So I'm waiting a little higher, like 174.70, see if we can get something just to average us back in. This is not like, I'm hoping for a move down, but the futures are just going to the upside. So we said that we would potentially look at the TQQs. It's actually setting up for a short, which is why I'm trying to get, we only have 10% left of Apple, which we just talked about. It is $1 in the money right now. So, pardon?
What's your level on the Qs?
I don't know. I was just looking right now on, it just wicked this high right there on the TQs. Again, this is a daily chart, so we already know where we've been. So if we're going to look at the 1 minute here on the TQ, we just sort of made that little top wick right there again. So I was just thinking if we fade back off of this, I have to Yeah, I haven't really looked at it. I mean, there yesterday, that's 65, so we're getting pretty close to that coming into play there from 2 days ago, actually, that 65 level. So yeah, maybe something coming up here. 18.8, I mean, on the major cues, 18.825, that was the high we just made. So I think if you're gonna go short, you just go short against today's high. Because the market, we say this all the time. How resilient is this market?
Yeah.
Like,
well, actually,
straight up all the time.
Well, the reason I ask is, obviously, you want confluence in your trades. You want that multiple reasons to like something. So I just looked over. I'll get to GitLab in a second. That one's working. But we said we just take out Intel if it made a fresh high. Like, that's accelerating right now. Like,
wow.
Is the market going to turn? That was my question. Just in a general sense, okay, well, is there some kind of a technical re-entry that's going to make sense? But no, like now Intel is going to be up 3%. So it got to a level that I liked, and we're just going to get out of Dodge. It showed you that wick top, so that's a setup I'm going to like back into VWAP. Like we're trying to make a move back into here. There's nothing going on Intel, and I'm actually a little disappointed because I wanted that sucker to get down to $25 because that would have been the only place I'd buy it before the end of the year. So GitLab just retraced back into 56. We got in at VWAP at 45. We just took 40 pennies on it. Low of the day is going to be 55 and a half. The other thing which I did not point out, which I'll do now, the 50 period on the daily is right at that 55 and a half as well. So I'm going to get out there and then look for another trade. So GitLab, I think it should, I just want to be short this stock today. So when it sets up a short, whether it's at 57 or VWAP, I want to try to go short, hold it into the next level down. The fact that it's down into an up market and had bad news, I think makes a heck of a lot of sense. But I don't want to be fighting Intel again. Like, it wasn't even fighting, it was one entry. But whatever the heck's going on with it, it looks like it's a pretty strong stock for the short term. We just got back into like 10.08 on Rivian, so it's bounced off 10. We're at 10.12 here. My longs were at 6 and 5. So now that my price shows 5, my price was 5.5. It's the same thing. It doesn't really matter. I'm offering out in front of 18s, and we'll look to see if we can continue that. DraftKings, it's trying to get back up toward that high. I'm holding for either a break at the top or maybe we can get another reload off of VWAP here. So it's been relatively quiet on DraftKings. It's done 1.5 million in volume, but it's not exactly the most exciting 1.5 million. You're essentially getting 25 cents on the move here on DraftKings. It was a heck of a lot better when the news actually came out and it ran $1.50. But you just got to be patient with it. It is bouncing and trending to the upside, so we like it. And now NVIDIA is starting to go. Thank goodness we got out of that Intel. NVIDIA is starting to break out, back above VWAP. Still a very much inside day on NVIDIA. So short GitLab. We'll hang on to Rivian into some of these highs. Tesla has still been a bit of a frustrating one. That last little dip got you nowhere near to VWAP. Still $1 away from VWAP, which now sits at 176.
Yeah, great trade there on GitLab, and that's the kind of stuff we're talking about. But talking about GitLab, seeing it make a move, putting the trade on, that's a good one there. And I think, like I said, I think the market should think about retracing, but we're right back at the highs. So I see some people in the chat talking about Google. So I don't know, where's that? We have a gangster cash register. We'll ring it. That one right there. That's like those early ones. We got some out there. So as you can see, it does come right into the 50 period moving average again on that downside push. 43s, 44s, 45s, 154. And then the rest down here in the 40s. But look at this. It's coming right back up as the market goes. So we did not put on that market short. We did want to wait for it. I still think it's a possibility here, but just looking at a broader look on the NASDAQ in general, we did this yesterday with Raider Trader. We've been talking about this with Frank and making some of these highs and pulling back in just a little bit. That's 19,000. Like that's pretty sweet. And right now you're just at this level again. So this is something to look at. Like that top from the 22nd, what day is it? Day 24. So just 2 days ago, in coming into question right now, 18,830. 18,830, right. So we're right there right now. We're at 18,828. So this is a spot where you could get some short and then hold it against that. So I'm actually debating the short. We talked about 65 here on the TQ. So let's just try to put it on. I mean, AMD is a monster. That's how, look at this AMD call. Congratulations to everybody there. It's trade idea number 2. on here. Trade idea number 1 is a Dollar Club member with Apple. Trade idea number 2 is a $1, $2, $3, $4, $5, $6 winner there with AMD. So let's just see what winds up happening. Here goes the TQs right now back up to the upside. And there's that 65. Let's try it, but this is a little bit of a danger spot. Sometimes we do get moves reversing itself into not the afternoon, but the morning is like it's 10:30
Into
now.
11 European close.
We just tried to short 65s. Can you believe that? And it just went all the way down there. So hopefully we'll be able to rally back. Let's put on a small piece at 96. Well, we tried. This is a different beast altogether because triple Qs is just all machines. So it's not, they will run away from your orders because it's a machine, but at the same time, there's so much liquidity, it just follows the market that, as long as you don't have to be like, oh, I just missed that level. If the market wants to come back, it'll just fill you. So we'll take a 96 there. It's too bad that we didn't have a little bit better of a position on that one. We just did get stopped out of our Google. I'm going to put one more piece back on because the market did fail up here as well. We just got stopped out there at 174. Let's be a little bit, okay, it's against the market, but not by much. So I don't know, Google just started weak and I was liking the weakness until we started to break above. So I'm just gonna go short again, thinking that maybe we get a fail move on that. TQs right now, whatever, just went a dime piece. We'll see if we can go a little bit lower than that. Let's hold on to this Google and see if it'll get going. 175 stop, and then that's it. Let's not be stubborn with this one and just keep shorting this market. The NASDAQ is insane. So
I would usually already
175.50 maybe.
I would usually be short right now on Intel at 30.93 or 94. But again, I don't know why it's so strong. AMD, I can wrap my head around why AMD made that rally to the upside. I'm having some trouble wrapping my head around any specific reason. You don't need a reason for it to be strong. I'd usually be in this short right now, but you can see I did not take it, so it is what it is. Rivian just got into the teens, tagged me at 16. I'm sitting here at 20 as well. All it's doing is retracing the initial move it made. It went from $10 to $22, back to $10, sorry, $10 to $10.22, back into 10, and now it's trying to make a run back into 22. I do want to still be in this if it breaks quarters, in the chance that it can go higher. If it breaks out that top, it looks good. I just canceled my Alibaba order for a breakout because Alibaba, I said it would look pretty good if it could take out this top at 81. As you can see, Baba is not doing what Pinduoduo is doing. I can want Alibaba to be as strong as Pinduoduo all I want. It's just not going to happen. Checking back in on GitLab. If it pops back in and gives me a setup short on 56.5, we'll try to get back into that one again. So Rivian looking okay. DraftKings is just like Rivian, like it's chilling out at the top end of the range without actually breaking the top. Team PJCT, Intel probably moving from hedge fund interns. Maybe. So one of the things that can happen on a Friday going into a long weekend is, you might have the B team on some of the desks, although it's so algo related anyways nowadays, it might not matter as much as it used to in the past. Sometimes you get an advantage trading in the afternoons on a holiday long weekend, but I think the algos rule, and that's not a big a deal anymore. I think it used to be a thing with traders. Here's Tesla, and here's 178 trying to break it out. I said I'm not taking any breaks, I'm taking dip buys on this stock, so I'm not taking a 178 break at 10:30. Breakouts at this time I have not found to be that good, so I'm just not going to take it. I'll look for a dip buy in that stock. We'll stick with what's been working so far today. So it is what it is, but Tesla's making that run to the high. If it goes, I do think Rivian has a good chance of breaking the top with it. AMC's tracking towards 5. I know everyone's been saying, hey, AMC's up. It's up 5%. It's moved about 15 to 17 cents, depending on your entry point. Not nearly exciting enough for me. And GameStop's still, oh, never mind. GameStop broke VWAP.
Oh, really?
The last I checked, GameStop was trending down.
Really?
Okay, this could get a little more exciting. If these can take out any of the highs, those are breakout trades I don't mind scalping because they're squeeze names. I don't mind breakouts on squeeze names.
All right, so right now we are just dancing with the devil here again, as we keep saying. We've already taken some profit on the TQQs to the downside, but then it just battled itself right back up. So we're just going to give this a couple more pennies through 65. Like 65.10, something like that. We sort of just